If you come to Darden, invariably you will hear about Lalin and Anik.
I think what makes Lalin so special is just her ability to connect with you, not just on a professor to pupil, but as person to person.
It's one of those things where it's like palpable when you meet her. You can just feel this warmth that radiates from her.
You're not feeling like you're talking to someone who's a subject matter expert, and she is. You're talking with someone who wants to learn from you as much as you want to learn from her.
The students admire both in her willingness to have courageous conversations on difficult topics, but also her willingness to think big. And beyond that, she also just brings a lot of joy everywhere she goes.
Hi, I'm John Byrne with Poets&Quants. Welcome to our one-on-one interview with Lalin Anik, who is a superstar marketing professor at the Darden School of Business at UVA. Welcome.
Hi, it's great to meet you.
So you joined here in 2015. You earned your doctorate at the Harvard Business School and you did a postdoc fellowship at Duke. You actually became interested in becoming a professor when you were at London Business School at the age of 19, very young age. What makes Darden different than those schools and others?
I would say our community, the intentionality, and the intimacy in that community. So we're a smaller school, smaller student body than the comparable schools that you mentioned, as well as our faculty is smaller, and we're very high touch. Very close, high touch in terms of among the faculty, as well as between faculty and staff and faculty and students. We're constantly interacting, and we go deeper than sort of surface level interactions. And I love to ask that as well, like, where are you? What are you doing? What's in your heart in that moment?
And become a person who listens. And I just like reflect the question back to them and just try to, dig a little deeper.
And Darden is a school that is known for having the best MBA teaching faculty in the world. So the expectations for you walking into that classroom the first time had to be extraordinarily high.
So I used to be an athlete. I swam for Turkey for about 2 decades. And I prepared for it as if going into sort of a big event. And I still keep the same rituals around it. I go to bed early and I get up and I approach it with that energy.
Now students love your courses. You were voted Faculty Marshal at graduation, which is the highest honor that a professor at Darden can be bestowed. What do you think it is about you or your teaching style, or maybe even the empathy you show in a classroom that makes students so connect with you?
I see my students as family. So when I walk into the classroom the first day, I already know their names. I have learned a bit about them. I can ask the right questions, or I can ask questions that will be challenging for different people. It's not one size fits all. So it starts there, getting to know them. But then we go through class after class. I'm learning with them and I'm guiding them. Yes, I'm their professor, but there's this interaction that happens that we open up. I play sports with them. I love basketball and soccer, so I practice with them a couple of times a week. I compete with them. There's a Darden Cup, so I compete in my section.
That's great. What do you hope that your students gain from your courses?
What I hope my students gain from my classes is that they have an intuition about marketing, about how humans tick, right? How they behave, and as marketers, how they can bring this value to human life. But I think at the top level, I approach it as I am teaching them how to think, how to ask the right questions, so that you can move in towards finding the answers, so that you can ask more and deeper questions. And I hope that when they leave Darden, that they can ask both specific and also broad questions to answer big problems in the world.
How does your being a woman affect the way you teach, the way you fit into the culture at Darden?
So this year, Darden has reached the maximum or the highest number of female students. We reached 40% of our student body. It's incredible that we're making these strides. And as I think about it, as a woman, it is important for me that I'm in the classroom, outside of classroom, as a leader, as a professor. I set an example how women in business can be. Because I want to, if I can, inspire my students to think outside the box and to not get stuck in the stereotypes of this is how a woman should be, this is how a woman should dress, this is how a woman should act, this is where a woman should be, this is woman's place, right? If I can get them to break out of that box, I think that's part of my job, and I'd be very happy.
And you're one of 31 new faculty at Darden in the past 5 years. Many of the newcomers are international. What does that bring to the Darden culture?
We are aspiring towards asking and answering the questions of tomorrow, not at today. And those questions are diverse. They come from very different backgrounds. They relate to different geographies in the world. And in order to be able to answer them, we need to be diverse in our thinking, in our values, in the way we function, in our transformational learning experiences. So diversity across both starting with faculty, with our students, and as well as the experience.
Lalin, Anik, listen, thank you so much for spending your time with us.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.